Hey guys, my name is Jasmine and today we're going to be making a stained glass inspired artwork. So to get started, we need paper, a Sharpie, a drawing pencil, which is also a graphite pencil, with an eraser, color pencils, and crayons. So before we really dive into this, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about stained glass. So stained glass is an art form that has been used for centuries, and it's basically a painting made with colored glass. So there are lots of different ways to do it. You can see it in different ways. You may have seen it with like in an actual window or pictures of an actual window of it. It's an entire window made of different colored glass pieces. It could be kind of abstract. It may not be an actual image, or it might be an actual image like a landscape or a person. So stained glass can also be little pieces of things. A lot of my friends make stained glass pieces that are small, and you can hang them in your windows or in your car, anywhere that might catch light. And when stained glass does catch light, it kind of disperses color light everywhere. It's really pretty, it's really beautiful. But stained glass can also be used, the stained glass pieces themselves can also be used in mosaic, which mosaic is kind of the same thing as stained glass, but they're different tiny little pieces, and usually the background is in like a grout mixture, so it's not, you can't see through it like you can with stained glass. But with this piece here, we're going to kind of channel stained glass, and we're going to make our own little stained glass inspired piece. So to dive into this, once again, we're going to pick a shape. You can pick a simple shape. Hopefully I'm going to be doing a heart. If you guys want to do a different shape, maybe like a triangle, a square, whatever, you can do that too. If I have my Sharpie here, I'm going to draw a heart. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to start making lines inside of this. I'm going to break it up how you might see stained glass or mosaic. So I'm not going to make my line too difficult. And I'm also not going to draw too many, because then it's going to get pretty complicated, and that's not exactly needed. So, drawing random lines here, not drawing too many. They're crossing over one another. Those are my lines. And I'm going to go over those lines with my Sharpie. I prefer for all of my lines here to be pretty bold, because like in stained glass, whenever you might have have lines where you can see your glasses connecting, they're like welded in a way where you can see the line. It's not like pieced together like a puzzle piece where it's a clean line and nothing there, but you can see how they're connected. You can see a bold line between them, and usually it is a black line or a gray line. That's why I have my Sharpie going over my pencil lines, because I want all of my lines to be bold and noticeable, like with an actual stained glass piece. So there are all of my lines. I'm going to go back through, I'm going to erase my pencil lines so that I do not see them when I'm coloring this piece in. This is my basis here. So if this were a stained glass piece, each little section would be a separate piece of glass. So we're going to color our glass here. I'm going to be using crayons. You can use crayons, pencils, whatever you have. And I'm going to color each piece. I'm going to make it pretty bold as I can, because with stained glass pieces, the color is very bright, vibrant, it's very bold, it's very pretty to catch all of that light. It's not faint where you can't really see the color most of the time. It's very eye-catching most of the time. Your typical stained glass pieces. And color all of these different colors. If you want to have a color scheme, you can. You could do like a 2 or 3 color scheme. Whatever you want your stained glass to look like. I think I am going to have a little bit of this color scheme for mine. I think I'm going to do orange, reds, and yellows. I'm going to make this a very warm colored piece. If I wanted this to be cool colored, I could do that too, but I would use purple, green, and blue because those are the main cool colors. Might have to add an extra color in here though, but we'll see. Next, I'm going to go into my red. Still using my crayons. If you want to switch it up and use both color pencils and crayons, you can do that. Or whatever else you might have. And when you're doing your lines, I didn't talk about this earlier, but when you're drawing your lines to separate everything and make it look more like fragmented, like glass, you can draw them straight, you can draw them a little bit curved. I did most of mine curved to kind of follow the shape of my heart to make it fit a little bit more. But you can do whatever you want to do. You can draw them straight, you can draw them curvy. You can do both. Again, I'm making this as bold as possible. I'm pressing down on my crayon a little bit more than I usually would. Trying to make this as bold as possible, get rid of all of my little white lines as much as I can. There's that red. Let's see. There's that red. Let me go up here, get this red. that. I'm gonna go over here. Keeping it as bold as I can. I'm gonna move on to yellow, my next color. I'm gonna do this yellow. And then I'm gonna move on to another color because for my piece here, I don't want my colors touching. I want it to all be a little bit different and have some variety in color. I don't want them next to each other. So I'm gonna use kind of a scarlet color. It's basically red, it's like a reddish orange, but it's a little bit more brighter than the red that I have already used. Just a little bit. And one more color. Let's see, I'm gonna use another yellow that's gonna be a little bit more brighter than the one that I've already used. So then my entire stained glass piece here is pretty warm toned. These a lot of warm colors rather than cool colors. There's that yellow. There is that yellow. That is my stained glass piece. So once again, stained glass is an art technique that's kind of like a painting, but it's all made of glass and they're all pieced together. And a mosaic is similar, but it usually has a very opaque background. It's not usually hanging up in windows like you can see with stained glass, which when you look at stained glass in the window, you can kind of see through it and it lets all the color really come out. But this is our stained glass inspired piece, our stained glass inspired piece, and I hope you guys make more different shapes, different colors, different lines, and I hope you guys do just that, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!